So let's take a look at this last section in this unit about punctuation. First, we're going to look at semicolons. Now, we've seen this before, but I'll repeat it again because it's always good to reinforce what we've learned. So semicolons are used, number one, to separate two independent clauses. I can't do this anymore. Semicolon. Instead, comma, we should share the cost. Another use of a semicolon is to make lists of extended words. So what you can do is, A, finish your work, semicolon. Ask your professor if you can do it at home, semicolon. Ask for an extension and do it next class, semicolon. Leave now and take the 0. So these are extended words that are put together. If you just use commas to separate these, it'd be too confusing. So in this case, it's a good idea to use semicolons. Let's take a look at colons. Colons can be used in many different ways after an independent clause. For example, for an explanation, she was the doctor, colon, she knew what to do in the situation. So that colon really shows that there's an extension of what's already being said that's explaining more of what is going on. A colon is also used in quotations. Let's take a look at this example. Sally was in a rough state when she said, colon, the candidate has no idea what's going on. So we've got a quotation here, and we're separating the sentence with a colon before we start the quotation. Another example, another time we use the colons is with lists. So my mom said I could do one of 3 things. Colon, study, get a job, or move out. So we've got a list here of 3 different things, and that list is clear because it follows the colon there. Let's take a look at commas. There are many ways a comma is used. It's used to separate a dependent clause from an independent clause. When you leave the house, comma, make sure that you turn the light off. Now in this case, we have the main sentence, make sure that you turn the light off. That can stand apart, but as we saw before, when you leave the house, that can't stand by itself. But when we put it together, we've got the dependent clause added to the independent clause, and we're separating them here with a comma to make it flow smoothly. Commas are also used to separate non-restrictive clauses. My sister, comma, who is an expert, comma, teaches high school. So I mentioned this before, but a non-restrictive clause is extra information that you're adding to the sentence. So my sister teaches high school, that's what you're saying. But she's also an expert. My sister, who's an expert, teaches high school. Now you can use who is an expert, you can use which, you can use other words also to separate these non-restrictive clauses. A comma is also used to separate 2 independent clauses. And we've seen this before, but let's take a look at it again. I was really tired after the show, comma, but I was willing to stay on for a while longer. So I was really tired after the show. I was willing to stay on for a while longer. I want to connect these, so I'm going to connect them by putting a comma and adding them with a conjunction. Now our last one here is commas used to separate modifiers. So the day was welcomed after the long, dark night. So here we've got long, dark night because both of them are modifying the word night here. So to make more sense, we put a comma after the word long. And these are examples of commas and semicolons and colons in our punctuation section.